Hello, everyone. Welcome to Breaking the Fourth Wall. I'm your host, Zata, and today I'm joined by my guest, Sthembile Mmolawa. You know,
Dango, dango, dango.
yeah,
Pang Banzula, Ciao Wesson, Spam Sengosi. Again, welcome to Breaking the Fourth Wall, where we take you to extraterrestrial terrains.
yeah.
Dango.
Man, there's something about attraction that I've been thinking about in the recent days. People often talk about attraction as if it's purely subjective, like it's just a feeling, a vibe, or a personal taste. And yes, there is an element of subjectivity to it. But what most people don't talk about enough is that subjectivity usually comes after something else. Before attraction becomes a feeling, it functions as a response to observable traits, patterns, and signals. Across cultures and time, the same qualities in men that tend to be rewarded with attraction are competence, direction, confidence, and visible progress. Something that people can actually tell that you move from point A to point B. So, this episode is not about blaming anyone, it's not about bitterness or being angry at the world. The real question that I have is if attraction is patterned and conditional before it's personal, what does that mean for how men understand themselves, rejection, and responsibility?
Mm. Wow, that's depth, that's deep.
It is deep.
You know, well,
That's like a question. That's the big question. Like, how do I say this? That is the core. That is the core theme question.
the core theme
Yeah,
question.
the core theme question. But then for us to actually answer that question, we're gonna go through a series of questions, which consequently answers the core theme question. So like we don't
Yes,
need to answer that question. There's still other questions that I prepared for you as my guest to give your insight on them or your perspective, whatever it might be. No answer needs to be right. It just needs to be real to you.
it's always been like
I don't
that. The
know.
feeling is mutual.
I'm
Thanks
glad.
again for making me feel comfortable enough to be myself. I feel at home. I hope y'all guys also tune in and listen to the insightful talks we're about to
For
bring
sure.
you. You know, I think attraction is a major theme in society,
Hmm.
in sociology or societal psychology, because um truthfully speaking, attraction is different in different societies or cultural perceptions. Because of people that live in the rurals, for example, in South Africa, in KZN,
Yeah.
most ladies or most women have this thought of attraction that ubuhle bendoda iphokethe lakhe. So a man
A
can
man's
be,
beauty is his pocket.
a man's beauty is his wealth,
Oh yeah, his wealth.
technically.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I guess in the modern day, most of the time, girls also classify a man that has wealth as an attractive person, a person that has materialistic success or
Hmm.
has some
Hmm.
sort of achievements that are visible to the eyes
Yeah.
of people. Then women, most of the time, they see that person as a high value person, and vice versa.
Oh, they
When it
see.
comes to women, attraction is always has always been about voluptuousness and beauty,
Mm.
sexual appeal and beauty to us men when we look at a woman.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, men don't care if a woman works in Burger King or Steers, or she
Mm.
is washing or cleaning
They
toilets in
don't
a
care
mall.
about her status
Yes, all her
and
achievements,
her level
neither.
of competence.
They only care about the beauty,
Yeah.
which is in this case, they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but we all know, man, that there's some beautiful
Yeah.
girls out there.
And I'm so glad that you touched on that. They say beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. They make beauty,
Subjective.
or in this context, they make attraction subjective.
Mm.
But if that was true, why do the same male traits keep getting rewarded across cultures and time?
Be- why do the same?
Male traits keep getting rewarded across cultures and time. Like if people tend to say that beauty attraction is subjective. It's all about humor. How you look. Well, then fine. That usually comes after something else, doesn't it? Because of I think there's also I also prepared some context because of the question that I'm asking challenges the idea that attraction is random or purely personal, but then it also introduces the idea that attraction follows requiring recurring patterns linked to survival status and competence.
Mm, mm, mm.
Do you get now the question after giving you that context?
Yeah, yeah. I do get the question, but do you remember Usain Bolt and Caster Semenya?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Usain Bolt, the fastest runner, Caster Semenya, the South African female legend. Yeah,
Is she a fast runner or is she
she's not a fast runner. Well, like she
stamina?
finishes the race before her competitors, but then she's not the fast runner. Or like you mentioned stamina. Oh, what is it? Because of I think uh Usain Bolt runs 100 meters and she
Yeah,
does 800 or something along.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
the
don't know. Like
the
I'm sure about Usain Bolt that he competes for 100 meters.
so it's like a short distance,
Usain Bolt short
short
distance runner.
distance, which is that's a race,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And Caster Semenya runs 800 meters to 1,000 or 1 kilometer with laps, you know.
Yeah, all
So
labs.
giddy laps. So what I was trying to say about that is, the tonality, the way one got thing. We must remember that attraction, it is always subjective, depending on individual interests, individual desires, individual values, individual, ngare, what you want as a person individual.
Yeah, yeah,
So why do male traits keep on getting rewarded in cultural society and
yeah.
all that?
Mm.
It's because of we are living in a world of currency, commodity,
Yeah.
so
Mm-hmm.
everything is convenient when you have money. So most people that say they are subjective, they are lying, because at the end of the day, you might have for example, you might be a cute nigga,
Mm-hmm.
handsome guy,
Good
all
looking.
that, be funny, have humor, be charismatic, but that doesn't mean every girl will look at you as an attractive person,
Mm.
you know, because we also need to
Well,
understand
they will see that you are visually attractive, but then
this.
other elements that contribute to attraction they won't be there, so they won't classify you as someone that is attractive. Is that what you're trying to say?
Listen to me and let me finish my statement. You are. Hey, that's what I was telling you about Bolt and
Yeah,
Castasmania.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe,
Because
maybe
you
maybe I'm not following. Okay, let
you
me.
are following, but you are way too ahead. Because what I'm trying to say
Yeah.
is, yes, attraction. You may be physically or visibly attractive to females, because to Angitina Siamatians.
Mm-hmm.
But what stems attraction in females is different to what stems attraction to males.
Mm-hmm.
Because you might be visibly attractive
Yeah.
as a male, but then be too childish or too goofy for a girl
Mm-hmm.
that be like, nah, Iena, he is okay, but
He is good looking.
there's
There's
that
a but.
there's a but. There's always a but, you know. And in most cases, that's what I'm saying. Attraction is like infatuation. It's limerence, So it's on limerence is like having a crush on someone. You don't know that person, but you like what you see. That's attraction,
You
And
don't
then
like that
there's
person, but you like what you see.
love. Attraction and love is not the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
because loving someone is seeing beyond the good side or the appealing side of that person and see them for who they truly are as a person. Because at the end of the day,
And independently of seeing their flaws, you still love
of
them
them,
anyway.
you know. So as people in this modern society, we are driven by what? Materialistic gain.
Mm-hmm.
We always want to gain something. My man needs to have a car. You know, Lynn and I also say that my woman needs to have a car. You see, now it's what? It's a clash, because now we cannot find the baseline of attraction anymore, because before we can even love each other, we first need to be attracted to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So attraction, it's a tricky game now because of we all have
Mm.
a certain idea or ideals that we want to achieve when we see someone that we feel like is attractive enough to even be in a relationship with, or one night stands, because some people
Mm.
they're on that lust driven journey,
Oh.
if only I could get a piece of him, if only I could get a piece of her. That's it. It's all sexual. you know so males will always be rewarded based on their competency and their materialistic success and achievements in this society.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we can make an example of the popular case, or the popular accused, based on allegations, Mr. Cat Matlala.
Mm.
There's some woman that look at her and be like, damn, I'd let that man be my daddy, type shit. Like, like, think about it.
Zazzy.
You told
Zaddy.
Zed of your ass dog. Like, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
society
Zaddy.
is so driven
Like, I'm
by,
just how you
so
said it,
they just
Zaddy.
understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously understand that this guy has money
Mm.
and he takes care of himself. He's good looking.
Mm-hmm.
He's smart. He has power. He most importantly, he has money. So why not?
He is a prototypical guy to fantasize about.
So they don't care about what he has done or what families uh, are mourning because of him. They
Mm.
don't care about the people he's killed, allegedly. They don't care about the things that he has stolen from the public. They don't care all about that. They just care about what they see.
Yeah.
It's attraction, bro. And what they know about him. That, man, if I were to date someone like this, it's like that, bro. So there's
Also, it is subjective in that
it
context
it is.
because of in this context, if it's men with their aiming to attract females. You can only be attractive like you can a female can find you attractive depending on her fantasy about attraction to a certain extent.
To a certain extent.
Get it?
I mean, why do most girls prefer bad boys?
Mm.
And there's a difference. There's bad boys, there's good boys, there's nice guys.
Yeah. What's the difference between bad boys, good guys, good men or good guys,
Guys,
good
man.
guys and nice men?
Because I don't want to say men typically, because we understand that we have an upcoming generation of young boys which are going to become men,
Mm-hmm.
but some of them are already in the stages that we are talking about, stages of attraction, the stages of falling in love, understanding that as a man you have to be competent, you have to be confident, you must have some sort of direction. you know
Mm.
so
Mm.
back to the question that I was telling you about, that I'm saying there's good guys.
Back to the question.
There's
Did you
Yeah.
ask me a question or
Now back to the question that
that
you
I
asked me.
asked? Okay, okay,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
what's
yeah.
the difference between bad guys, good guys, and nice
Mm-hmm,
guys?
mm-hmm.
Bad guys are your typically, you know okay, I would say typically people like me, people that like, don't care. They
Mm.
don't care as long as they get what they want. They don't chase, they don't attract, but they always get what they want, in a way.
You don't attract. Well, how could you? You don't attract. Okay, they don't. They don't
They
chase.
don't chase,
They
they
don't
don't attract,
attract. But then they always get what they want. Well, then
because
how come you can get what you want without chasing it? Okay, in this context, what do you mean by getting what they want? What does that look like?
getting what you want is like being a taker.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know,
do get like you are a taker, but what does that look like? I do get that you are a taker. Fine, I do get that. But then since it's in the context of bad guys, we're gonna relate that to girls. Girls are the one that find bad guys attractive or whatever, whatever, whatever. But then since you are someone that does not chase, and then you are someone that does not attract, yet you get what you want. How do you get what you want without having to attract it or chase it?
okay. That's a tricky question because you should have let me finish my statement, but let me answer it.
Okay, okay.
When I say bad boys or bad guys, they don't chase, they don't attract. It's like attracting something. It's like you being a magnet.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you attract, right? But bad guys, they have that magnetic aura, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's inevitable that they're gonna attract. It's inevitable that I'm gonna attract. Even when I'm not trying to get attention, I'll still get attention. No matter how hard I try to not get people's attention,
Mm.
I still get that attention. I can be sitting there in the corner minding my own business, but that magnetic aura
Yeah.
or energy
Mm-hmm.
is gonna be felt. Even the things that I do, the way I move is different from how a lot of people move. So when I say bad guys, I'm also putting myself in that
In that
category.
category, yeah.
When I say good guys, I'm also a good guy. Duality, my
Yeah,
brother.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Good guys are the niggas that are honest and straightforward.
Adaptative flexibility.
Wrong shot.
Mm-hmm.
People that are straightforward. Everything that they do, it is morally obliged in a way,
Yeah.
or they always thinking of a higher power.
Yeah, or their decision making is led by principles.
Thank you. Wrong shot. Most of the time, good guys, they are led by principles and they have morals and values that they stick to no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
They don't break, they don't bend.
Yeah.
Those are good
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
And then nice guys.
Ooh, my God.
Nice guys are the people that would do anything for validation.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they can be
Oh.
successful, whether they might not be successful, whether they are still, in the middle hierarchy, they're still in the middle,
Climbing up
they're climbing up, in short.
the hierarchy.
But
For
at the end of
sure.
the day, the problem with nice guys, okay, there's no problem. I'm just elucidating the fact about nice guys.
Mm-hmm.
Nice guys, they bend.
Yeah.
You
The
know,
bend the knee.
they bend the knee in most cases because of they themselves, they want to be seen
Mm-hmm.
as ideal pers- ideal persons. Oh, okay, he's a good guy, he can
Mm-hmm.
do this for me, he
Mm-hmm.
can,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not
They feel
actually.
competent in a way.
Thank you. They fake competence and they fake confidence
Confidence.
because of
Because of they're doing something with a silent expectation of getting something in return.
they
And when
always
they don't get it, they tend to be resentful, I assume.
most don't get resentful,
Yeah.
you know,
But they
but
keep on
they
giving with the hope of getting back in return.
yeah, it's like you keep on feeding the monster even though the monster still wants you. It's devouring you, it's
Mm-hmm.
swallowing you, but you keep feeding it because of you constantly seeking approval and validation from other people.
Yeah.
That's the main core theme or main persona of nice
Mm.
guys. They are constantly seeking approval
Oh.
from other people because they themselves
So that's what they do, but then they do that in different ways.
in a
Okay.
whole lot of different ways. you know like that's what I'm saying. You can have money and still be a nice guy.
Yeah.
You might not have money and still be a nice guy. Like your last money, you're willing to spend it over someone that you know that this person, she or he works, he's probably gonna get paid more money or he's gonna get his money. But now I'm sitting with him and he just bought a bottle. Okay, let me buy a beer with my last 100 rand. Because why? You are trying to chase approval from that person who are validated as a
Yeah.
guy. Okay, he did that.
Yeah.
Same thing when it vice versa to females.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he did buy me something. Go McDonald's in you be acting nonchalant there, saying, me, I don't want food. I'm full, but I can buy you something. Knowing damn well, my brother, you're hungry. You don't even have money to buy yourself. But you're gonna use your last
No.
money
Mm.
to impress that girl
Yeah.
or that female.
They say no when even they can't say no, even though saying no will benefit them. They choose to say yes, even though saying yes will be detrimental to them.
True.
Wow. Nice guys. Wow.
You know.
Have you ever been, but you've never been one? But then I think even though you might be a bad guy, you still, I think it's a human thing to somehow want to be validated. And maybe like say there comes a moment in whatever circumstance, in whatever interaction that you're having, possibly with a girl, might be a guy. Has it ever happened to you to find yourself in a position where you wanted to do something to seek approval
Yeah, it has
many
happened a
many
lot of
times?
times.
So, what makes someone not to be a nice guy in that situation? Is it
In
because of the internal conversation that the conversation that one is having with himself or herself, that no, I want to do this because of I want to get this person to think something about me. Like, do people could is it fair for us? Is it would you say like it's fair for me to conclude that you can tell that someone is not a nice guy by the internal conversation that they have with themselves before they do something that will classify them as someone that is seeking validation?
Can you rephrase the question? Beg your pardon.
Yeah. So say like you said that you've been in instances where you wanted to do something because of you wanted to seek approval, not because of you genuinely wanted to do that.
Yeah.
So if you do that, then you are a nice guy in your definition.
Well, if you betray yourself
Yeah.
for the sake of benefiting other people, then you are a nice guy. You cannot ban yourself to keep other people warm.
Yeah.
So that's what I was trying to highlight based on the question that you were asking me right now about like internal talk. Most of the time when I get to the point where I have to like flip the switch and be a nice guy, it's always about what will I benefit after their validation, respect, love, or whatever it is that I'm seeking at that particular time or that particular moment. How will it benefit me after the interaction
Mm-hmm.
when I'm alone? Same thing as when I meet a woman, a female. I'm not trying to say whenever I have a conversation with a female, I'm not trying to impress her, because really, I ear candy, dog. Sometimes you have to be that smooth with your words. You know, it's always about what do you benefit in that whole interaction. But most of the times when you go to a female, you don't benefit anything until the later stage. So how can you be?
Mm.
To me, it's like, how can I be a nice guy if the chances of even her, smashing a
Or giving
slim,
even the chances
or
of her giving allowing you to have access over her are slim.
so why must I bother myself of trying to become something I'm not only
Yeah.
for her?
Mm.
So that's the problem with most nice guys. They don't have that line. Everybody can be a nice guy.
And
Even good
everyone is
guys.
tempted to be a nice guy.
Even good guys, bro. When you're a good person, you can literally sacrifice your last money to see someone else have shoes or have food.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, you're not doing it for validation. You're doing it because of you are morally obliged. You
Yeah.
feel you feel sympathy for that person.
But that's
You
not the
know,
same as you expecting something in return
y-
silently.
that's
Because of like you are doing that out of the goodness of your heart.
hard.
Where compared to a nice guy, they're doing that because of they want the other person to think something positive about them or to feel a certain feeling because of the action that they did to them.
True.
I get it.
You know. Hence, I'm saying even like most I've seen a lot of rich folks,
Yeah.
people that have money, but they nice guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like I wouldn't say nice guys per se, but they are internally because of they constantly seek validation. It's like they always want to show people around them that they have money. They always want to prove a point,
Mm.
that I can get any girl I want or I can drive any car I want. But once they start to be in the same hierarchy or in the same level as people that have more money than them,
Mm.
then that's when you see the
Relevance.
change of persona. No, now you're no longer a nice guy. Now you're a good guy. You're trying to make connects. You're trying to network. You're trying to get the next tender. You're trying to get the next big job. Now you are a good guy. But are you really a good guy, or is that also a form of nice guy and masked as a good guy for that moment because of you trying to fool these people and let them know that you're a gentleman and you're not there to kiss ass or anything? You are your own man.
Yeah.
But then when you come to lesser men than you have to always go down and prove them.
Yeah.
It's like an ego, bro.
Hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy. That's why I always tell people that when you're an ego, never chill with chickens because chickens can fly.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
most of the time, nice guys, you know, whether successful or not, they always try to bring themselves down to
Yeah.
the level of other people. Hence I'm saying most of the time, me personally, especially as of lately,
Mm.
I'm playing the nice guy.
You're playing the
I'm
nice
playing
guy.
the nice guy. I'm actually letting people think that nah, he is a nice guy because
Have you been reading a lot of Robert Greene recently?
yeah, always conceal your intentions. And sometimes when I interact with people, I keep quiet purposely because I know that I don't know, and I don't know this person. Neither does he or she know me. You know,
Yeah.
so I have to let them feel free first and comfortable enough to show me the weak points and the strong points, and then that's when I can be able to utilize my own persona. Which is take.
So like
I'm
you
a
allow
taker.
them to reveal all of their intentions, to show you their strengths, and then once they think that they've got you,
I strike.
you strike. Like not so fast,
You
loser.
see, type shit.
What do you think women are responding to more? Do they respond to immense intentions and potential, or the visible evidence of what he already has built?
Most cases, they respond more to what the man has already built. You
Mm-hmm.
know, no, like there's this movie Matrimony. I'm sure you got it.
Matrimony,
Taraji P
matrimony,
Henson with
matrimony.
this nigga that was creating some sort of software.
Acrimony.
Acrimony.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Acrimony. So
Wow.
that's even extensive because
Yeah,
they were married.
yeah. Oh, dude.
Like they've been together. I hope
Mm.
sometimes he's still trying to
Yeah.
hustle all that. He still has potential.
But
You
then,
know. So what I'm saying based on that question, how girls respond more to the physical success and what they see compared to the potential and the intention of a nigga. Because girls don't care that you have good intentions for her. You want to take care of her. Probably someday you're gonna marry her. All that. Do you have the means to do that now?
Mm.
That's what they want. Do you have the means to? Every time I say, "Baby, I'm hungry," send me 5 keep. Do you have the means to say, "Baby, come to this place. I can request for you in yeah." When she gets there, I'm free to share like about my 5-star dinner, roses, everything. You know, do you have the means to buy her family grocery?
Mm.
Do you have the means to support her children if she has children? Because the potential, like to her, is like, okay, my brother, you are studying, you are a dead law student or civil engineering. Yeah, civil engineering, that's you're gonna make big bucks.
Yeah.
She doesn't
Which
care
is,
about the future,
she
bro.
doesn't care about the future. So they care more about actuality. They care more about actuality
Yeah,
instead of potential.
true. But I can't say that for all of them, right?
Yeah.
Because of some girls have
Because
different
I think
values.
even in the movie Acrimony, when we actually decode what happened in the movie, is that I forgot her name. The wife never really wanted to leave him, but then because of the influence of
Social
other
pressure.
females, her sisters, is what led her to actually leaving him. But then, like, you could see, even though it was a movie, the facial reaction when she was making that decision, she always seemed unsure of that decision. And later on, you know, had doubt because of, you could tell that she was doubting her decision of, I left the guy, but is he really not going to make it? He it seemed to me that she was always asking herself that question. And once she saw that, oh, the guy actually made it, she started blaming the very same people that influenced her
Yeah.
to leave his ex-husband.
That's self-sabotage, self-mutilation.
That has to do with people pleasing, innit?
So at that point,
Okay.
I won't
Yeah.
say like the decision she made was to please her sisters or something like that. It was an emotional decision. She had had enough of taking care of the guy, being the
Oh, I
breadwinner,
did not
being
mention that.
so that was an emotional burden that she was carrying all this
All this
time.
time.
So she got to a point where she was like, you know what, I've run out of patience.
Mhm.
And come with social pressures, from a sister,
Mm.
societal bills, and lady Ludia Kupu wale no bona go
Yeah,
damn.
yeah, yeah,
Nigga,
yeah.
you must get a job.
Yeah.
You
Everything is
must do
starting.
something like
It's
to
not
bring
only
some.
financially heavy, but then we're starting to be emotionally heavy.
Yeah.
So
So
the negative things were starting to amalgamate
outweigh the
the
positive
positive things, or they were piling up, and the amalgamation of those negative things led her to deciding
to
to
make
leave
that
him.
emotional decision.
Why do you say that was an emotional decision?
Because of
Because even logically, it makes sense for her to leave him.
even logically it makes sense,
Mhm.
but you married to the guy. You
Mm.
married.
There's an
You're not
there's an oath
dating.
in it.
It's an oath,
It's an
dog.
oath. Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
know, like through sickness and health, through
yeah,
riches and
yeah.
like
We are
all
not
that,
married,
dog.
so.
So you made an oath
Mm.
to be with this guy until death do we all apart,
Were they married or were they engaged?
dog. Whether they
But then
engaged,
there's okay, there is a line between them, but then like some you being engaged already says a lot, that you already said yes, that you have already said yes to being married.
so for the fact that she had agreed to share a future with him,
Mhm.
it's enough. You can't, you
It's
can't,
self-explanatory.
you can't get in, come on, day two inside the bath, and then when you hear, oh, the water is too hot, so what will jump? Because you have to test the water first with one leg. Oh, okay, the water is too hot. Okay, let me cool it down. Put in some little more of cold water. Same as reality, same as any relationship. You cannot just jump in with 2 feet boom.
Hmm.
But once you agree to getting married or being engaged, my brother,
Yeah,
you are in.
yeah,
Like
you are in. You're
there's
fully
no who
in.
I'm still checking if this guy is the right man for me or this girl
Mm.
is the nah, baba. You made a conscious decision and you have to follow through
Yeah.
because of marriage is unification of two souls into one. So once you agree to being married to someone else, you are no longer yourself. You are no longer living for yourself, but you are living for you and that person. You are a unit now.
So like you guys no longer become individuals.
Individuals,
You become one individual.
one individual, it becomes a pact.
Oh yeah. I think I've had Peterson share some insight about that some other time. But cool.
So females always dog want the immediate success or
Mm.
the immediate
You said
reward.
not all of them. Now you're saying females always.
Not all of them, of course,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but most of them,
Most of them.
majority. Especially in this world that we're living in. They have principles or morals. You
Yeah.
know, they are. I'm not saying they not.
Mm.
They are girls that have morals and principles.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
are. And in the modern world, it's so easy for girls. I think it's a muscle that many females need to build, the muscle of saying no. Because in the modern world, as a female, you have a lot of derogatory, or you have a lot of demeaning opportunities. You have many easy way outs, which it could be a guy who's rich, but then what's the price? Fine, he can offer you a lifestyle that you fantasize about, but then what's the price that you have to pay for that? So I think it's necessary for females to build a big muscle for no in the modern world.
oh, are you saying? I mean, females dog.
Yeah, I'm
They.
just adding on to what you were saying.
Oh yeah, yeah. But females they are the biggest no sayers in this reality that we're living in, especially because of
Okay, remember what I said. I think it's necessary for them to build a big muscle for no, because not no to just a guy who just wants you, but
mm,
no to the demeaning opportunities.
What do you mean when you say demeaning opportunities? Make an example then.
Okay,
Give us
shucks.
them.
I think
What do you mean when you okay? Do you mean demeaning opportunities like becoming a stripper,
yeah,
becoming
yeah, definitely.
OnlyFans creator?
Although
Oh,
I've seen many females, online, making that a thing, which is understandable. This is the modern world. You
it's
have that.
not. It's not. But yeah,
It's not. What do you mean?
I mean it's a norm,
It's
but
a
it
norm.
doesn't mean it's okay.
Yeah. Well, well, how some females, well, other females that are doing that, they want to feel justified for doing that. Therefore, they're trying to get
Yeah.
other girls. They're trying to get other girls to do that with them, so that it won't only be them that's doing that. So they are, influencing other girls. They're telling other girls that that is the right thing to do because they don't want to be the only ones that are doing that. So, do you get me now?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. That's how females operate, especially from something that kind of shuns their light
Mm.
or something that is deemed to be bad or unrighteous. That's why they always want to be in support. That why don't you ask yourself same thing as feminism, same thing as LGBTQ, what that you know, yeah, the homosexuals and all that. Who are the leading supporters of all that? Who are the spokesperson? Who are the ones that are pushing the agenda?
Sorry. Mm.
It's females, bro. That's what I'm saying. Females like promoting something that when you say it's unrighteous, she cannot challenge you by herself. So she needs
She
to,
can't challenge you with facts as well.
so she needs to gather,
Mm-hmm.
so that it can be a collective, so that they can say now they have a
Yeah,
voice,
yeah, yeah.
because of most of the
So
time,
that it can be more of a movement
yeah,
than an individualistic thing.
it's always like that with females, bro. you know
Mm-mm.
so compared to us, like men or guys, when we start something collectively, what do we want to do? We want to conquer the world.
Yeah.
We don't want to say, we won't organize men and say, yeah, the women, what they're doing to us is not okay, or start complaining, oh, we shouldn't have a CEO of a woman. Nah, men are supposed to be the
Yeah.
leaders. Nah, we won't do that. The only thing we do is when we gather ourselves as men, we collectively think of how to like uplift our lives and cause a change in the world. But
Mm-hmm.
females, it's always about them and their self-interest. It's always about what
Fulfill your own desires.
you know it's always about
Dude, wow, there's so many. Yeah.
it's always about them and their own self-interest, what they want to do, what they want us to give them a platform to do, because
Mm. Mm.
it's a
Mm.
man's world, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Almost everything that females do or secretly crave or desire, most of those things were created by a man,
Or funded by men.
funded by a man.
If certain men are consistently not receiving attraction, at what point do you think it stops being bad luck and starts being a signal?
Ah, I mean, there's I don't know how to explain that one. Jorge, when does it come to a point in time where a man that
Mhm.
receives no attraction?
Yeah, like, a man is not receiving any sort of attraction, or they are receiving attraction, but then it's not leading up to anything. At what point do you think like it stops being attraction or bad luck, but then it starts being a signal? Like rejection in that case is not something that's personal, but then
It's a
in
signal that
it's a
you have
signal, or
to,
it's a feedback to you that there's something that you're not doing right.
until you get to the lowest, you know, until you bend to ashes.
Until you get to the lowest, until you burn to ashes. I
Um,
don't I don't I don't fully follow what you're trying to get to.
until you are totally mentally, emotionally, physically devastated by the same things that you are chasing or the lack of attraction you're not getting.
Hmm.
Then
Hmm.
that's when a real man
Hmm.
rises.
Hmm.
That's now a feedback to you. Oh, you know what? nigga, work on yourself. And if you don't work on yourself, that means you're gonna die a devastated man.
Yeah. Wow. That's a lovely line.
You know.
That's a lovely line.
Shut up.
Yeah. That's a lovely line, dude.
What's up?
Wow, like I
What's
thought,
up?
like I was like, what are you trying to say? Then I kept quiet. Yeah, yeah. Because yeah, I think there was also, but nah, let me not lie. But there was a time in my life, where the attraction like was just like was not leading to anything. Especially with the girls that I was, infatuating about long before I even made the initial move.
Uh,
Have you ever like experienced something like that? Like you infatuate about a girl, you think whatever you think before you even make a move on.
the whole time, dog. The whole
And
time,
once you
like
get there,
I used to have
that
a
attraction leads to nothing.
yeah. Let me tell you, dog.
Yeah.
The way like I used to have a crush
Mm-hmm.
on like my home girl. Like you see, on our guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if she's gonna watch this episode or her brother, my Achus is gonna know. Fair. Like that wasn't an infatuation,
Yeah.
because it was.
How would you explain infatuation before you
It's
continue
like a
with?
crush.
Yeah.
It's limerence. You are attracted to what you see. You know. Then
Yeah.
that's an infatuation because you don't really know that person. You don't know their flaws. You don't know like the red flags. You don't know how they function in in reality. You know. But then I've been to a similar situation, hence I'm talking about my homegirl. Like it was love, bro, or at least I think, because I knew everything. I knew about her. Like I knew the type of guys that she date. Even sometimes I'd be despised by their. Oh, how can you date someone like this?
Mm.
But at some time as I grew older, I understood that the fact that you are infatuated and whether you made the initial move or you're still thinking about making the initial move, whether she knows or she doesn't, you're still gonna be trapped in that prison, in that solitude, because of she will never open the door for you, neither will she ever get inside
Mm.
that prison with you, because you have already demonstrated that you are stuck, you are locked up in your emotions for her. Yet she hasn't
On your
even developed.
perceived
If
idea of who she is. Yeah.
you know, yet she hasn't even grew an innocuous tiny feeling towards you.
Mm.
When already you have locked yourself up.
Yo. Yo.
So
Yeah.
no matter how you can scream your lungs out, stand in the streets naked, tell her how much you love her,
It's a
my
losing
brother.
game.
It's a losing game, my brother. It's a losing game. Best believe, you must focus on yourself. And not everyone that you love is meant for you. But if you let them go, they say they'll come back. Well, we'll see. That's what I say. We'll see. Because I've let a lot of people that okay, not a lot,
Yeah.
because that would sound biased, but a couple
Mm-hmm.
of females that I've actually really, really loved,
Yeah.
genuinely.
Yeah.
I've let them
Can
go
relate.
for my own sake, for my own sanity.
For your own sanity.
You
Why
know,
did you let them go for? What was happening to your sanity that led you to letting go of them?
I was constantly getting high off something that's not supplying me.
Mm.
I'm constantly infatuated, but I don't get the infatuation reciprocated back. How can I keep on getting high off something that doesn't supply me? You see, Howe is like a person that smokes heroin crack nyaupe. You get high, how you do, but eventually outside feel. So you want like an injection.
Mm.
Now you want to inject it in your veins. Once you inject it in your veins, you now high. But the supply was small.
Mm.
It didn't buy a gram or I don't know how it is. Yeah, nyaupe. You just bought a small dosage and you melted it and then you put it in the syringe and then you inject it yourself. Same thing like that.
Mm.
and you are slowly killing yourself. Because if you're getting high with no supply,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do to get high? Think about it.
Mm.
As an addict, now there's no supply and you don't have money to buy that shit. What lengths or extremes will you not go
But
to
then since there's no
across?
supply, then you won't be able to get that drug. So,
But you want it.
but you want it. What
It's
are
the
you going to do?
that's the same thing as you, like the girl you love or the girl you're infatuated with knows, and girls are so good with that because the intuition, they can tell from point A as out whether this guy is interested in me or not. They can tell. So already someone who hooked on 12,
Mm.
she is not supplying you.
Oh,
She gives you
she won't
attention.
give you reasons to. Oh,
She
okay,
might
okay,
give
okay.
you she might
Continue.
she gives you attention, but she makes sure that you get the message that is platonic.
She gives you attention that's enough for you to stay, but not enough for you to. Yeah, enough for you to stay, so that you can keep on giving her that attention, the love,
To stick
that you can
around.
keep on simping for her.
To stick around. Pretty much it. To
Yeah,
stick around. So me, I was fortunate enough that I grew matured
yeah,
whilst I was still a kid, you know, because of the things that I didn't experience in life, and I saw how people function. And I was like, oh cool, kudos. Let me do me. By the way, I've always been eccentric. I've always been one of a kind. So when I started to understand the power that I have and my worth, that's when I came to a point where nah, Mina, chase ever
chase,
again.
yeah,
No matter how much I love you,
yeah,
I'd rather make
yeah.
sure I even block you. I don't even see you.
That
Yeah.
right over there is definitely not a nice guy. Whatever it is that is inside of you, it's not a nice guy. It can't be. And yeah,
uh,
I've also done the very same thing. Because
yeah.
chasing, I think I was telling you
Oh.
yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, about a girl that I was trying to get on the show, and I've been texting her back and forth. Okay, there was a time earlier on after getting her numbers, while me and her were still communicating, initiating meetups, and she was open to actually meeting me, and we did see each other a couple of times. Then fine, that happened. After some while, the communication started to plummet. I would check up on her, here and there. And then, the response was dry. Sometimes she never even responded. That's when I was like, you know what, dude, this is a fucking waste of time. I deleted her numbers, but then I started speaking with her before the show began. And then recently, after the show had begun, I I texted her again, with the hopes of getting her to come here on the show, because of while we were still in the talking stages, while I was still telling her about the show, she said she would come. I text the girl. Boom. I even went to ChatGPT to get me, to. I did not even, write the message myself. I went to ChatGPT to construct something that I can send to her.
Formal
Yo, dude,
formal
the response
invitation
that I got.
was heart wrenching.
Well, like, it's not really heart wrenching because of I'm I'm not emotionally attached like I was before.
Mm.
Like, I don't really care much now anymore. I used to care back then,
Yeah.
but then after some time, when I started noticing that whenever I text her, the responses are dry. Sometimes she rarely responds. Then that's when I made a mental decision that I have to emotionally detach. And how did I do that? I had to delete her numbers. Okay, I deleted her numbers, but then I deleted her numbers on my WhatsApp, but then it was never deleted in my contacts. So when I reached out to her again, wanting to have her on the show, that's when I started texting her again. And then the response was like, dude, I was so shocked that this person, while we were still in the talking stages, she agreed to come to the show. But now that we are no longer talking, she laughed it off, dude. I was like, what? That's so unlike her. And it made me question her, that was she being nice to me then because of she was hooked emotionally to me, because of, or she was enjoying the vibe. But now that we spend too much time without talking to each other, maybe she might have met another guy that replace the role that I was playing in her life back then. And now when I'm reaching out to her, she laughs it off. Well, like she did. I doubt she even read the message because of it was a long one. You know, it was a long one because of she told me something that was personal to her, and I asked her GPT to mention in that message that some of the personal things that you told me that you would not like other people to know. It's fun. We can skip those things. I mentioned them in ChatGPT so that it could, construct a text message that was gonna let her know that these things won't be talked about if you don't want us to talk about them. And she just laughed it off. I started even questioning the fact that did she even really go through the message or not? And so yeah, that's one of the experiences that I have that relates to what you have done before with, instead of, feeding that thing, you prefer to cut it off.
Rather than
Yeah.
to let your whole body be poisoned,
Yeah.
cut the limb off.
Cut the limb off, yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
only way. Yeah, it's painful. Yeah, it's gonna be painful. We must
But
not act like
honestly, it was not really painful this time because I've not been speaking to her for quite a while and I made that decision a long time ago.
cutting the person off, not after, or cutting the
Oh,
person off
then.
whilst you actually still have emotions that are strong. Emotions like water filled inside 20-liter buckets, heavy as hell.
Yeah.
And you choose to cut that person off
Mm.
whilst you are still emotionally addicted. It's very painful.
Yeah.
It's very painful, my brother.
I'm reminded of when my ex-girlfriend dumped me. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see, you ain't get it.
Yeah.
I can also say
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
about my ex-girlfriend,
Yeah.
which made me believe that I will never fall in love again. And I was so sure that me na catch
Again.
again.
Nah.
Of course. Until I met someone. Until
Yeah.
it's like that though.
Mm.
So real chats, dog.
How did it feel like when your ex left you? The one that you loved, the one that led you to thinking that you would never fall in love again because of the pain that you were feeling back then.
Bro, I was even listening to Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD was my favorite artist at that particular time. And
Wow.
I could relate to a lot of his songs
Yeah.
and the lyrics. Then I started to self-mutilate, you know. Started to take Xans, lean, or
That led you to a
substances,
dark place.
type shit. But in my mind, it was not about doing drugs so that I could forget the pain that she made me feel. It was kind of like I have a reason to get high now. I have a reason to actually take pills. I have a reason to chase the numbness,
Mm.
to feel
Oh,
nothing,
so she gave you a reason to justify your actions.
type shit. And I went deep, bro.
Yeah.
I went deep.
Deeper than what you have mentioned.
Yeah. So I guess reality always has a way of showing you the truth and making you know that in life there is someone out there. There's many someones out there. It's not one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
yeah,
not one.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just misconstrue this concept of this you have a soulmate. So you think if you have a soulmate, you're thinking there's that one person in the world. Nah, bro. It's all about complementarity. How do you complement each other? There's some people in the world that have darkness in them and they just short with the light of a woman. And there's some women that are dark inside them and they just need a light of direction from a man. So it's like you will never find an unbroken bed,
Yeah.
but you will always find a wounded bed in this reality, as we are all wounded, I believe.
Yeah. I show him.
Because whether you like it or not, you are bound to feel pain. Some people feel pain because of their
It's
girlfriend didn't.
inevitable.
Like some people feel pain for my man didn't call, my girl didn't call today. That kind of stings inside of that person. Or you,
Mm.
I wonder what's he thinking? What is he thinking? Why is he not
Yeah.
thinking of me? Blah blah. Small things, but you love that person. So
So, do you think that happens? Okay, when, say, your girlfriend or your boyfriend is not calling you, and you start to you start to ask yourself those questions that you mentioned. Is it because of people suddenly believe that they are not worthy of being loved by the person that they love?
that's the type of questions that people be having in their own minds. That's like Gary, negative self-talk,
Hmm.
because it's not gonna bring anything positive. Instead,
It
it's gonna
won't,
bring
yeah, a
emotions
lot
of
of more negative
anxiety,
things,
depression, blah blah, you
feelings
know,
of inadequacy.
and unworthiness,
Hmm.
just because of a call.
Just because of someone did not call, is not texting you back.
You're dealing with a lot of emotional wounded bed
And
stuff.
yeah, whatever it is that people think when, someone that they love or someone that they highly think of is not getting back to them, whatever thing that they think because of they are not getting the response that they expect is mostly never factual.
Most of the time,
It's just, their mind
playing
fronting,
tricks
yeah,
on
playing
them.
tricks on them. The devil, taking advantage of that moment and adding on to it, like putting petrol on the fire.
Petrol on the fire,
Yeah.
bro. Straight.
Do you think it's more honest to tell struggling men that attraction is subjective, or to tell them that attraction is conditional, and that the conditions can actually be improved?
Do I think it's
Do you think it's more honest, or it's more right to tell struggling men that attraction is okay, let me rephrase this correctly. Do you think is it more honest to tell struggling men that are struggling, with attraction, or maybe like being in relationships, or drawing it back to the previous question about not receiving attraction,
yeah?
do you think it's more honest to tell those men that, okay, let me just restart again. Do you think it's more honest to tell men that are struggling to receive attraction that attraction is subjective, or to tell them that attraction is conditional and that the conditions can be improved? Do you get the question now?
Yeah. I think it's more honest to tell them that attraction is conditional and the conditions can be improved. Because, I mean, you might lose the 10% where it's going to be subjective, where they truly love you for who you are
Mm,
and what you bring to the table.
mm,
But 90%, we
mm,
have a wide range to pick from, my brother.
mm.
Once you improve the
Once
conditions.
you are out there, once you have the status, once you have the competence,
So if you can
once
improve,
you
you
do,
see, so it's conditional.
can't wait to get there, honestly.
It's, yes. It's every man's wildest fantasy. Type shade, if you actually know.
Is it a fantasy? Okay, it is a fantasy, but then it's a fantasy that calls something out of man. Like it's a fantasy that comes with so many good things because of it puts you in a position where you can actually start to have direction and decide on the path that you want to take and go down with that path, and that path could lead you somewhere. And that somewhere could be the very same thing that you have been fantasizing about. So,
It's more like summoning. It's a
mm,
summoning
mm, mm, mm.
spirit.
A summoning spirit.
Yeah. Because
What?
of
I've never had anything about that. What is a summon spirit?
a summoning spirit is a spirit that calls forth.
Yeah.
It's like if I could make it itchy when they say unamadlozi,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
you have been actually possessed by a summoning spirit and it's summoning you to like go wenze into zakhono ngimfuleni uyothwasa all that. So same as men, when I say it's like men's biggest and wildest fantasy is to get to the top, but it's more like a summoning spirit because every man has a vision. Every guy, even the guy that sleeps under a bridge, he still has dreams though. Don't ever think he might
Mm.
be high on Yelp, but he
Mm-hmm.
still has dreams.
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
still sees himself like, Yo, mga topang back in 10 million. Yeah, please refill for me. You know,
Yeah.
mga topang back in 10 million.
Yeah, yeah,
Dagi
yeah,
mi da bazongazi ngiyofika lapha baqoshe bonke abahlala oh even better yet
yeah.
bayaluma ulwidi wamidladla
Aish,
ngenzeni.
dude.
Everybody has dreams, dog. You know. But
Yeah.
few have vision. That's what I'm saying. The summoning spirit is the one that actually puts you on the right path of the vision. Because if it calls forth through your visions, when you think, which took in the next 5 years or in the next 10 years, I see my life going down this path. It's a vision. It's a vision, but yet
I think it becomes a vision when you start to act upon it.
it's like even when you're not acting upon it,
Yeah.
but you knowing damn well that every time you close your
it
eyes,
could be a vision, but then that vision could just be potential. And then when you start to act upon it, it could be you transitioning from the vision to uh
from the vision to mission.
From the vision to mission. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's true.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, that's true. But
yeah.
well, what I'm trying to highlight about the fact of a vision is, you know where you want to go. Like you have this fantasy that I want to be this type of person. I want to be able to be at this echelon or in this level of hierarchy at some point in life. But when it gets back to the summoning spirit is every time you derive or you take a downward path or an opposite direction of where you're supposed to go, the spirit still calls forth. You can try to avoid it.
Louder than before.
You see, you can try to avoid it and say, nah, mina ngeke ngiyothwasa izinto ezinjalo. But if you possess, dog, it's gonna still keep on coming back until you do something about it. Until you start making the initial execution to the mission. Then that's when you can see the vision is now clear, because now you have started on the first step of the mission. So that's why you see we all have that. Not we all have. I don't think old men or young, young guys like us have that. But if you know, you know. I just felt like something, dog. Like you know, dog. Some things you don't know how you know them.
Yeah.
But you do know that you know.
I think it's an internal thing. Also the voice of God, your conscience. Yeah.
So it's like that. So most men they dim out the conscience. Then it just ends up being a dream.
So it's more honest to tell the struggling man that attraction is conditional and those conditions can be improved.
True. Straightforward. Wow.
Because, if you tell them that it's all subjective, it will just, put them in a position where they can lead from an emotional perspective.
Which is biased. Because you can.
It being conditional, then you can get to know that these are things that I can do to actively improve my life, which will put me in a position that I'm not in right now, and the position that I will be in the future could open so many doors for me.
You see, because if you're saying subjective, I'm like, if you are a funny guy, is she gonna eat funny? Is she gonna eat your jokes?
Yeah.
If let's say you have a kid, is the kid gonna be supported by your jokes or your charisma? Yeah, no, Baba. So we mustn't lie and say it's subjective.
So a man that's not, well in the pocket, but then has all of the other things, they are half attractive, not fully attractive, in a way.
Well, dog, we shouldn't determine a man's worth by what he has in the pocket.
Yeah.
So if he has,
I'm asking that question based off what you just said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
you could be charismatic. You could be funny, but then
it was an itchy, right?
Yeah.
So that was not an actual statement. Okay. I was just making a context.
You were just adding substance to what you had said previously.
So, what most of the time is that we determine a man's worth by what's in his pocket. Which is, I partially disagree. but I do
That's
understand the
the
importance.
keyword there is partially.
Partially,
Okay, okay.
you know, but it is very important to have money in your pocket,
Yes, dude.
especially
Undeniably
as a
important.
man. It's very,
Undeniably
it's
important.
of paramount
Mm,
significance.
mm.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that if you don't have money, you should be deemed less of a man.
Yeah.
Because even in the Bible, dog,
Mm,
most of God's descendants or God's disciples that were chosen for specific, purposes to fulfill the God's word, most of them they were poor people. Most of them. I'm not saying all of them because there was the ones that had riches, they had cattle, they had, like King Solomon, he has a lot of wives, all that. There's some people in the Bible that were gifted
mm,
materialistically and spiritually. So there's some
mm.
men that
Mm-hmm.
focus
Mm-hmm.
more
Mm-hmm.
on the aspect
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
spirituality and deeming less necessary the aspect of materialistic success or materialistic power as a man, for you to be able to take care and provide for your loved ones. That's the biggest responsibility. Even the Bible tells you, who as a
Mm.
man you protect and provide. That's God Himself telling you that. So if you focus
Mm-hmm.
more on the spiritual aspects, on the internal you are full, but not fully. You are filled.
You are full in spirit.
You are filled in spirit. You are rich in spirit. But oh me, oh my, you're dead broke as man. So that that context doesn't say that man is not man enough or he's not worth it, but
Oh me, oh my.
you're lacking somewhere, bro. You're lacking
Yeah.
somewhere.
So it's better to be a 7 in all these elements than to be a 10 in one and
Yes,
discard the rest.
yes. True that,
Hmm.
my brother.
Some men are just, society often. I think there was a time when, the just be yourself phrase was, all over the place.
Even now,
Even now.
just
But
be
then,
authentically yourself.
what do you think resentment creeps in for men when they are told just be yourself, but reality keeps rejecting them?
Then being yourself has to lead you to isolation. Carl Jung
Hmm.
says,
Be
do your
yourself
work.
has to lead you to isolation.
Yes, because if you keep getting rejections, that means they haven't seen your power yet.
Yeah.
They don't see your power yet. They're blind to your power. So you have to go back and recharge in
Yeah.
isolation.
Yeah.
Work on yourself
Mm.
so that
Work
when
on
you come
yourself.
out
Okay.
now,
It's no longer just be yourself. It's now work on yourself.
self, because you can be yourself, but if you're not working on yourself, then you're probably just, like everyone that's being themselves. Because everyone, most of the time, there are people that are always themselves, authentically and originally. But if you don't work on yourself, then there's nothing that you're gonna reap from the approval or validation of others. Because they're just gonna be saying, oh, okay, it's him. So nothing changes.
Yeah.
You still get the rejection. But if you work on yourself, then you're gonna be invited in rooms that you were not supposed to be in, or you were not in at first.
Not, I don't think it's rooms that you were not supposed to be in, but then rooms that you
Yeah.
would not have been able to enter had you been just yourself. And there's something that you mentioned earlier on about how you are a bad guy, and I just mentioned something about it's not just be yourself, but rather it's work on yourself. So for you to be a bad guy, were you always a bad guy, or you had to work on yourself, and you working on yourself made you realize that you being a bad guy is better than you being a nice guy?
Yeah.
So like you had to work on yourself to be a bad guy. It was not
The,
something that you were born with. It was not something that was intrinsic to you.
yes. It was not intrinsic to me at all. I was born a nice guy,
Mm.
And that was the weak version of me.
Yeah.
That's why like a lot of people took advantage, both males and females. That was the weaker version of me because I was a nice guy.
Yeah.
And as I grew older and I started to experience all the pitfalls that I've been through and all the fire that has burned me, I had no other choice but to resurface myself and reinvent myself
Yeah.
as a phoenix now. Wow. Y'all gonna bend the same way y'all bend me. Y'all gonna feel the wrath of my fire.
Yeah.
You know,
It
but
was
not.
sheath back then.
Yeah,
I had no control of it, but now I do.
now I do.
And there's gonna be a price that you guys pay for
Amen.
messing up with me.
Through that. So that's how I became a bad guy.
Yeah.
You know,
You're not born one.
I was not
You
born one.
reinvented yourself to be one.
The world made me a bad guy.
The
The
world
world,
made you a bad guy.
it showed me
You're
that there's
born a
no
nice
place
guy.
for nice guys.
Yeah.
Dog. The world made me realize that for myself
Mhm.
individually, that
Mhm.
there's no place for nice guys.
Wow.
You know,
I'll just let that stay.
rather be
Yeah.
a king in hell and be a servant in heaven, because that's where all the good guys go, in heaven. I'd rather be a servant there, but here on hell, in this world we live in, you have to be a king, or else you will forever be a peasant to princes.
So it's, if your current self keeps leading you to getting rejected, then you should no longer live by the just be yourself phrase.
Yeah.
Turn it to work on yourself.
So isolate. The most important thing is to isolate, because if being yourself, you are not appreciated, you probably haven't found your tribe, because that might also be another factor. Or you haven't found people that actually appreciate the type of person you are.
That you are.
You know?
Therefore, you don't thrive.
So you don't thrive in that environment or
Yeah.
in that group settings that you
Yeah.
find yourself in. So you isolate. And when you isolate, that's when you work on yourself. That's why I wanted to quote Carl Jung when he says, when you do your work seriously and conscientiously, you will be invited by unseen spirits.
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 Keyword. Spirits. Spirits.
You know, so in all in all, you just have to remember as human beings that we are all spirits inside bodies. This is the vehicle and the spirit is the driver.
Yeah.
You know, yet you still have your conscious mind, can choose whether to do bad or to do good. It's always like that. You know.
There's something that you said. You said you were quoting Carl Jung. You said Carl Jung says that if you work on yourself
and do your work
orderly and conscientiously, you will be invited by spirits in rooms that you never thought you belonged in before. Is that what you meant?
Exactly that, my brother.
That's a lovely quote. Carl Jung. Can't wait to be reading about him next year. If attraction is not a right but a response, what responsibility do you think that plays on a man who is not being chosen yet?
If attraction
is not a right but a response, people are responding to something.
It's not a right.
It's not a right but a response.
Yeah.
Like, it's not something that will be given to you. People will respond to something, which could be and in this context, the thing that people respond to is the attraction or the attractive you.
Yeah.
What responsibility that plays on a man who is not being chosen yet, or who is not being chosen at all?
Well, the responsibility is choose yourself, and
choose yourself.
After you choose yourself, you will be chosen.
Brother.
Simply.
Brother, choose yourself first. After you have chosen yourself, you will be chosen. And you choosing yourself is not just you looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I'm choosing myself. You choose yourself by doing the hard work. The work that you are not, the work that you most likely don't want to do right now, but you doing that work will reward you in ways that you never imagined before.
You take care of yourself mentally, spiritually,
Mm.
physically, and financially because you choose yourself, right? So you have to make sure that you're the best version of yourself. Because if you love someone, you give your all. So if you love yourself, you're gonna put all that effort and energy into yourself. So you will be chosen, no
You will
matter
be
kanjani.
chosen.
There's no way
And I
you won't
think,
be.
you won't be chosen by each and every single one out there, but then there will be a specific cohort of people that will choose you for who you are. They will embrace you, and you
True,
will thrive with those people because
true
of
that.
you have chosen yourself and you have worked on yourself. And the rewards of you choosing yourself and working on yourself is you being chosen by the people that are supposed to be in your life.
Yeah.
I think, remember the conversation that we were having the other day about how sometimes people play a persona that they are not, which leads them to being lonely, even though some of them can be in relationships or lonely in friendships. Hmm. Would Do you think some of those people are in those friendships and in those relationships playing out a persona that they are not because of they have not worked on their real selves so that their real selves could be embraced? Therefore, they fake something that they are not because of they know that if they show the real them, that won't be loved because of they have not worked on that.
Well, it's two chances.
Yeah.
Most people that wear that persona or wear that mask, it's either they're scared of revealing their real self because of they're scared of the judgment,
Hmm.
or the disapproval that might come with them showing who they really are, or they scared to even embrace their real self because they themselves are scared of themselves.
Hmm.
Some people are scared of their real self because of they feel like I'm not supposed to be like this. I'm not supposed to be sympathetic. I'm not supposed to be emotional.
Mm.
But why don't you face yourself to be able to change yourself?
Yeah. Mm. Mm.
So most people is too. That's why it gets too. Some are scared of what they might think when they show them real self or their real persona. Some are scared that their real persona, they themselves, they don't like it
Or they don't find it
or they don't
impressive.
find it. You know,
If that's the case, what's the advice for those people? Work on it.
work on it. Find out why.
Why don't
Find
you
out
like
who
it?
you are first, and after you find out who you are, you can determine what you want to live with or what you want to
Yeah.
take from who you
Oh,
are,
that's
and
when.
you can discard the things that you feel like they don't serve you but they are
Mhm.
within you, they are your intrinsic nature.
Oh, I my understanding from what you were saying is that find out yourself or reveal yourself to yourself. After you have revealed yourself to yourself, then decide on which things you choose to keep there and which ones you choose to let go of and let them bend like dead wood. And then that's when you can start to reinvent yourself, the self that you the you now that has let go of the things that no longer serve you or that you don't want to be a part of you let go of those ones, and then you reinvent the you that you are now, and
The chosen you
the chosen you
that you chose for
that you
yourself.
chose for yourself. And that's when you can start to build onto that, build more bricks, which could be whatever traits that you want to see the you that you are now have.
True.
That's my understanding of what you said.
That's the analogy
Hmm.
I meant, by the way.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. That's fine.
I even feeling the hand that hey, this one I want the hair.
From where you are right now in your life, not where you believe you are headed.
Uh,
When you are not being chosen, desired, or responded to, what do you think attraction is actually reacting to? And what part of that is uncomfortable for you to admit?
mm, ah,
Mm,
damn, that's that's personal.
it is.
Very, very personal.
I told you. This one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Uh, uh. Truthfully and honestly, dog, when I'm not being chosen, do like kind of feel this thing, all that. But sometimes I just console. I don't want to say, yeah, I console myself by the fact that I'm misunderstood. I'm a paradox, and not a lot of people do actually get paradoxes.
Mm.
So the uncomfortable truth is, I'm not for everyone. I'm not for everyone. I'm not everybody's cup of tea.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I do know that for a fact that I could be their cup of tea if I put in more effort into trying to win them over or get their approval or get them to desire me
But what is the price that you have to
to
pay
pay. The
for
price
doing
that I
that?
have to pay is that I have to, be goofy, be all that, be someone that I'm not
Someone that you are not.
technically. So it's not worth
That's a
it.
losing game. Mm-hmm.
You know. So I guess being a walking paradox will always get you rejected because some people be looking at you, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
especially if you're physically attractive, they be
Yeah.
looking at you like, oh, damn, he's all there, he's hot. He's got a nice posture, all that shit. But like when you talk to that person, the attraction now changes because now it's like intimidation or it's like tediousness because people hate what they don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So once you start to show them that like who I am, like for real, now it's like you
Or
are
like want
a
to go
boy.
beneath the
Yeah.
visual attractiveness.
Now like you become a
Now
bottom,
when
like
you
so
give them like a piece of your mind,
yeah.
a piece of what's inside, a piece of what they are not seeing. Hmm.
Then that's when it gets tricky. You know, some end up hating you for
Yeah.
being who you are. You know, some feel like nah,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
not
Yeah. Yeah.
he's not my type. You know, and in most cases, y'all not my type.
Yeah.
Every time I go to a female, whether like I know her or I don't know her, I don't mean that I judge her, but like in my mind, I'm like, she's probably like the rest.
Yo.
Every time I go to a female, she's probably like the rest. I don't even put in much more effort now, dog.
Why don't you do that anymore? Okay.
Because
I'm sorry for injecting. So you're saying that you no longer put in much effort.
yeah,
Keyword, you no longer do that, meaning that you used to do that
yeah.
before. Why did you do that before, and why did you stop doing that now?
Well, before I believe that, girls, ngeke ngizwe ngentombazane. Ifaka ngithandi ngizogcina sengimkhenya. Like to that point, oh yo, this guy, he's been ntweni kubotsa yona. Gore rather be
Why did you give me that advice if you're no
listen,
longer following it?
share, but rather be pelamo, where the advice that I was giving you, where now you don't get it. It was not saying go to her every day or go to her like consistently or always try to get her attention, but because you've like there's this thing that you meet a person for the first time, right?
Mhm.
So if you meet a person for the first time, the fifth time, it's not like you are doing too much. You're not
Yeah,
doing too
you're not
much.
doing too much anymore.
You're doing, yeah,
Or like
but
you've done too much, or like you have gained the allowance to not do too much because you've done too
too
much the
much.
previous interactions.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know, I would call you randomly.
yeah.
I would pull up to your house, and like, yeah, damn, this nigga. Oliagiti. Hey, this guy, I got pay you more. So
I've
it was
never done that.
you see. So
You.
I was like, obvious. They did advise me like I'm sure look team fit to get him fit to like yeah. You need advice that my hot man na easy dog. And so on so and so whole and so sometimes go wala ma hot man amang inja. How about advice on so ma hot man go ka CD ning go am fit to get him fit to 20 fit ka ka benja go umhlanya vele 20 fit to le na tse every time I go bona go aki out here. And so shoot manje every time you see her you shoot your shot. And so kanti hayi lapho ndoda already ndoda you are depreciating your value ndoda. Because the more you keep shooting your shot, you seem desperate. When we are ukuthi I'm like uzogcina somconvince ukuthi akuthandi. Kanti you actually depreciating your value, my brother. Because if she already knows from the first moment she rejected you, and then let's say maybe you try the second time, she rejects you, That time should be the final prem, Baba. Brim brim, match over.
That time,
That
honestly,
Nakona
it
that time.
ends. If you reject me the first time, that's it for me. I'm out.
You
I'm
see,
never gonna make a move on you again.
that's how I view it right
Mm.
now. Like if you reject me the first time, we pass.
I'm trying to have I'm trying to understand, like, to you've said a lot of things. So I'm trying to, take away keywords, key moments,
Key
to
points.
key points to actually formulate the answer. So I asked you, when you are not being chosen or desired or responded to, what do you think attraction is reacting to, and what part of that is uncomfortable for you to admit? And you said that it's largely okay. Like, this is not what you actually said, but then this is what I'm interpreting from what you have said. That
Your
largely it's
take.
not because of you. It's because of, people see you as an attractive guy, girls. Because I don't to guys it doesn't matter that much, but fine. To girls, fine. They see you as an attractive guy. You make a move on them, and once you start opening up your mouth, well, like, obviously not after the first 2 3 seconds, but then once you start, actually having a conversation with them, as it elongates, they get to see another level of depth that they've never possibly experienced before in their lives. And that's what you think people are rejecting. What do you think that's what people are rejecting? Is it? Oh, you
What
also mentioned something along the lines of they fail to understand you, therefore they hate that.
people hate what they don't
Yeah.
understand. You know. So hate and fear to me is synonymous. You know. So when they hate what they don't understand, it's kind of like they fear. They still have fear because they don't understand what's in their eyes right
Mm-hmm.
now or in their space, and they are filled of magnetic aura.
Mm-hmm.
And then, dog, me, I just simply. That's why I say, uh, I feel like it's a waste of time chasing butterflies instead of
Yeah.
just building your own garden.
Building your own garden and they
So
will come.
understanding that as a gardener, you have different roses in the garden. You know,
Hmm. You pick,
you
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 pick
you
and
you
choose.
you like the person that's invited to the garden. They get to pick and choose.
Mm-hmm.
They don't just get this type of plant or this type of rose. So if they don't fuck with this
There's a
rose, there's
variety
nothing.
of
There's a
them.
variety of them. So it's easy for them attraction reaction
Mm-hmm.
to be there because of there is something that they're gonna find that's appealing to their liking, you know. So most of the time, the uncomfortable truth. Now, if you have to chase now you have to do follow ups.
Follow ups, yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't have time for that.
yeah,
Like honestly speaking, I don't have time for that. That's why even sometimes when I see an attractive girl, I just don't even feel the energy to talk to
yeah,
her.
yeah.
Like give it again.
I think it's also because of the Sims are also partly to blame for that, because they keep on making this ordinary human beings think of themselves as creme de la creme, and they are not that. But then because of these guys that are so desperate to have girls or to be seen with an attractive girls, they keep on giving and giving and giving and chasing, which consequently makes some of these girls to be full of themselves, and now they want most guys to keep on chasing them, keep on chasing them. Is that partly why you no longer, you know, put too much emphasis or make the initial move?
Well, I just understand that it's not about them, it's about me. So
Hmm.
it's futile trying to chase a butterfly whilst you're still building your garden.
Yeah.
So like at some point I just get to that point, even like maybe when I'm at groove, when I'm intoxicated, that's when I be using emotions like lust and all that. But dog, it's like
Hmm.
I constantly tell myself, okay, even if it's a one night stand, what benefit will it bring to me? What okay, the pleasure, yes.
The pleasure, yes. But it's
But
not only about pleasure. I think it's also have to do with something internal, and yeah, it has to do with something
I don't
internal.
get fulfilled, bro.
Yeah,
They don't fulfill me.
yeah. They no longer do. They've
They no
never
longer,
done.
or they did at
They
first.
did at first.
You
Okay,
know,
whoa. What changed? If they used to fulfill you, then why do you think they stop fulfilling you now?
my what changed is my mindset
Changes your mindset.
when it comes to pleasure.
Hmm.
You know, I figured that at first I was so pleasure driven, was lustful as fuck. It was because of the images that have tainted my spirit or my soul, which is pornography.
Hmm.
Pornography is fucked,
Yeah.
Buffett. I don't wanna lie.
Yeah.
Fade some niggas be saying, yeah, you watch their lens styles in need. But
Yeah.
because of me, I'm a intensive person. Everything I do and everything I feel is always intensified. That's the reason I came to the halt and the decision that nah, okay, Fade, I do like fucking. But is it is it is it something that I can constantly keep chasing the high of?
Hmm.
Or is it something that I can delay and still get that high? Because I
You
can
can
I
get it from many other things that are more fulfilling than that one. Or you can get the same feeling but through different things which are more fulfilling, not only physically but also mentally, spiritually.
from
Is
my
that
girl,
yeah?
well, she also has it. My girl, you know,
Hmm.
she if
Oh,
it
so like it's now more about respecting yourself and respecting the someone that you made a commitment to
okay partially, but
partially.
it's always that's what I'm saying. It's all about me.
Yeah.
It's all like it's a personal decision that I took. Because it's easy for like for us.
Wait, okay.
Yeah.
I think about like wait.
Oh yeah.
Go clear, like go clear.
You think?
Like go on my left.
Uh,
Hanya ninja feel like so attack.
uh,
Sure. Yeah.
so it's a decision that I came up with. It was a conscious decision.
Hmm.
That fade fulfillment you do get from the pleasure, but most of the time it's not fulfillment. Because how easy it is to get pussy. That's another thing that I realized. Over dog, the way it's so easy for you to fuck,
Hmm.
there has to be some sort of vice because there's
Hmm.
no virtue in fucking or having multiple girls that you can fuck. You know, yes, you might be polygamous
Hmm.
and have many options. Wow, if this one is tripping, I'm gonna call this one. If Mbali is tripping, I'm
But
gonna call now. All that.
that doesn't call for like that does not make the environment conducive for one to grow.
Always, always. That's what I'm saying. The fact that I didn't experience that, and the fact that I still experience it now, how easy it is to get pussy, how to get a girl to lay with me.
Hmm.
I feel like, damn, bro, why am I even wasting time on getting someone to lay with me instead of getting something to be laid inside me?
Hmm. 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 But not every guy is like you. Some guys they find it difficult to, get a girl to sleep with them.
Sims,
Sims.
Sims, they watch too much
Yeah,
porn.
yeah, yeah. It's mostly them
They
because
watch too
I don't
much
think
porn.
it is difficult to a certain extent for a girl to sleep with you, but it's not that difficult. However, I don't think that's not the message that I want us to portray out there.
Well, let me show you how easy it is to get pussy. We can vibe to Jersey, to
Yeah.
Summit Club, or we can go to Hillport. Then you will see how easy it is to get pussy. If
Yeah.
you don't want to buy it, you can buy it from and a total stranger. You meet in a club or in a groove, you buy her six, what she's drinking, and you have a conversation with her,
Hmm.
and then you tell her that you're finna vibe with her, and she already knows in her mind that I'm gonna sleep with the guy because she is already attracted. Before you even buy her whatever she's drinking, you can meet a girl in a taxi, you can meet a girl in the mall, and from the mall, be like, "What are you doing? Okay, can we grab lunch since we're in the mall?" Something like that. or tell her that we can vibe together there by my
Yeah.
body. I have 1-2 pipe and all that.
Hmm.
That's what I'm saying. It's easy to
Yeah.
get laid.
Yeah. It is
It
easy.
is. It's just that a lot of men that don't get coochie, it's because of men ish. They don't they don't put themselves as the prize. They always seeking validation. That's why every girl they try to go to kind of like feels or senses their energy.
Yeah.
Ah, ndanga,
Mm.
kisim.
Mm.
He's trying to drain me. He's not gonna
Mm-hmm.
inject anything that's of substance to me. Instead, he just wanna come. You
Sure.
know, most time that's how it is.
Mm.
Some people develop relationships from having sex, and then sisiyajola, because we fucked once. Now umuntu sekakubiza ngo-baby. Baby? What do you mean, Baba? We only met yesterday.
It's okay. You only met yesterday. Okay. Last question.
Mm.
Final question. The closing question. Okay. I even wrote as I was preparing. I even wrote the heading of the question, which is
What's the heading of the question?
the heading of the question is what can't come with you? What needs to be left behind? Here's the question. As you look honestly at the next phase of your life, is there anything about yourself that you already know you can't carry forward? It could be socially, romantically, or psychologically, even though letting go of that thing costs you something right now.
Mm. 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 Washa. Ay, siya ang kanya mag-question. Panak, boy. Mm.
Welcome to Breaking the
Mm.
Fourth Wall.
Yeah, we're definitely breaking the fifth wall. Kaya, yo. You put me on the spot. Mm. Well, there is some things that I know definitely that I'm not gonna take with me in the future, or into this next phase, this version that I'm
Mhm.
getting to, which is probably time wasting. Number one, time wasting, got loads of activities, probably going to groove, probably distracting myself, on social platforms, you
Yeah.
know, um, talking to, what can I say, female potential or targets, you
Mm.
know,
It is a
socially on the
waste of
phone.
time in a way.
It is,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
and pretty much self sabotage,
Mhm.
self sabotaging myself, through making bad decisions that lead to bad consequences. Those are the things that I'm leaving behind. Hopefully, psychologically, I can stop feeling tormented
Feeling
by,
tormented.
yeah, feeling tormented by the things that I want or the vision that I want, but it's not tangible yet,
Mhm.
which is lack of patience. I can say, because I don't have patience. When I want something, I want it now. And I think that's what usually, affects me and my decision making, because of I always do it for the now. If I fulfill my desire, if I have a desire that's burning now to do something, I do it now. If I have the means and the power to do it, I do it. And then I cogitate later.
Mhm.
Yes, I ruminate. Oh, yo, damn, bro. I should have chilled. Shouldn't have,
Yeah.
you know,
Should have thought
impulsively.
it through before he
Yeah,
acted upon it.
I shouldn't have been impetuous. So most of the time, everything I do, I like it to be outrageous. I'm the
Why do
type of
you like them
nigga.
to be more outrageous? Is it because of that feels more real?
Yeah, it feels more real, man.
Feels unplanned?
The world is burning, is on fire, and
Mm.
everybody keeps on screaming, "Hell yeah!" So if everybody's screaming, "Hell yeah, man," I mean, who am I to go against that? Because of I bring the water. So if I bring the water to the fire, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Almost every time you're gonna be hated, you're not gonna be validated until you have some sort of power.
Yeah.
Then they can hate you but still look up to you. You know, just like most famous people say, even say, "Oh, you don't like me, but you keep watching my every move."
Hmm.
You don't like me, but every time I do something or every time I pop up on your news feed, you wanna read.
Wanna be?
What is he saying? What did he do now?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's
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 it.
pretty much it, bro.
Sthembile Mmolawa, thank you for coming to Breaking the Fourth Wall.
you
Where can people find you?
know, social platforms,
Yeah.
Wesson on FB, IG's Punk Pantula, Wesson, Threads, Wesson, Spam Sengosi, God's Gone. Yeah, pretty much it.
Well, guys, that's it. Another one with Sthembile Mmolawa, a guest and a host as well. And if you guys are more open to listening to conversations like this one, here on that subscribe button, like, comment, share. Thank you.